can you give us some tips and nuggets on low effort and low time strategies where we can build our wealth more quickly?
Yeah, great. So, for those that know me well, I'm a big property guy. And of course, I love property investing. I teach property investing, and people go and get incredible results. But I'm not only just a property guy. I am an investor, and I believe in building a diverse investment portfolio where your investments are giving you the income which then allows you to live the life that you truly deserve and desire. So there's really two types of income, Hannah. You've got earned income and you've got investment income. Most people, all they ever do is have earned income, and this comes from a job or it comes from a business. And then people's mindset is, I'm just going to work even longer hours. I'm going to get even more overtime. You know what? I'm going to go and get a second job and a third job. And you've got people in the UK right now, some people are like 4 jobs in a week just to try and pay the bills. What you're better off doing is finding strategies, learning new skills, and focusing in on assets where you do the work once and you get paid for a lifetime. So one of the best asset classes, of course, is property. But what I'm going to talk about in this episode is something slightly different. And it's what I've been doing for the last couple of years. And that is mastering how to become a stock market investor. And the reason I decided to do this a couple of years ago was because I was doing really well in business. I was doing really well in property. But even in property, to build a multi-million-pound property portfolio, you're still exchanging a lot of time for money.
Yeah, it's still effort.
It's still effort that you need to put in. You've still got lots of plates to spin. You've got your tenants, you've got your investors, you've got the management side, finding deals, funding deals, flipping deals.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts. And I wanted to start to diversify into some other areas. And the stock market has always intrigued me ever since watching Wall Street as a young, you as well, right? Ever since a young lad. And my impression of someone on Wall Street is in a pinstripe suit, holding a briefcase, and is a multi-millionaire. But the reality is, you don't need to look like that. You don't have to work on Wall Street to make a lot of money from the stock market. So I went on this mission 2 years ago to master relatively easy, low risk, high return strategies. So how did you do this? You go find someone that's been there and done it. So through one of my contacts, a guy called Doug James, I was introduced to a guy called Jeremy Downing. Jeremy has been a stock market investor for almost 20 years. He's been teaching small groups of people for the last 13 years. And this came off the back end of me losing hundreds of thousands of pounds with a couple of fund managers that I trusted back in 2017 up until just before COVID.
That's the thing. Trust is a big thing, isn't
exactly.
it?
You got to.
Yeah, you could trust Jeremy.
Yeah, well, he wasn't using my money to invest, so it's not like I'm giving Jeremy my money to go and put into the stock market or to put into some fund. What Jeremy does is he teaches you the strategies that he's been doing for 20 years through training and mentorship. So I grabbed it with both hands, and it was like, you know what? If I really want to master wealth creation, property, I believe, will only get me so far. I needed to master being a stock market investor. And that's what I've been doing for the last 2 years. And it's been absolutely incredible. I've been studying probably 4 to 6 hours a week, sometimes longer, and I'm just out of choice. And I've been implementing these strategies and been getting some incredible results. So yeah, that's one. And I know you're just coming on that journey with us as well, right?
Yeah, getting into that. Yeah, so excited for that.
Great.
So I think from that, the most important thing is having a mentor there that's done it before, because it can be quite daunting.
Yeah.
Like you say, I've always wanted to get into stocks and trading, but I've never quite known how, and it seems a little bit mysterious and a bit,
Yeah,
how do you get into it?
Yeah, well,
So he opened the door.
Yeah, it's
for
a
you.
really good point, Hannah, because I was like, I'm not very good with charts. I don't really like numbers. I'm not good with spreadsheets. So I had all of these fears about starting this new chapter in my life, which is going to complement everything else I do. But like all of these things, you've just got to make a decision that you want to try something new.
Yeah.
Then you've got to throw everything at it. And it needs to be high up on your values ladder. Otherwise, it's just a thing that will never get done. And that's what I did. I invested in Jeremy. I went on his training. He started to mentor me. I turned up to every session. I tested my accounts. And he started to introduce me to these different strategies. Now, what I really love about the strategies that we're now doing is that you've got low cost. So people listening to this right now can literally get started as an investor with just a few £100.
Okay, and what equipment do you need to start with?
All you need is an internet connection, a laptop, a phone, or some type of mobile device.
That's it.
And you can do this anywhere in the world at any time, obviously while the markets are open. So you don't need to go and spend hours and hours and hours growing a business. You don't need to go and do a marketing plan and go and generate thousands of leads.
Yeah.
You've not got to turn your passion into profit and go and sell something. What I love about being a stock market investor is once you master the strategies, you are in complete control.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
This is really important. You're in control of your time. You're in control of how much study you do. You're in control of your trading. I'm not putting my money anymore out to the banks or the fund managers. You know, you've got people out there at the moment that are giving their life savings to the banks or to fund managers, and they're charging 2% as a fee.
Yeah.
Well, if you're only making 5 or 6%, that's nearly 40% of your profits. So I believe now I've been through this, become your own fund manager, master simple but highly effective stock market strategies, put the time and energy in, and you can get some great results.
Yeah, no, that's interesting because that's very like health as well. Because I'm involved in the health and helping Lyme disease patients.
Yeah.
So now is the time to take back control of our health, our wealth, and actually own it and manage it. So it just feels like a great parallel there.
It's everything is connected. I call it the triangle: the mind, the body, and the spirit. And once that's connected, you in the center become unstoppable. Of course, there's ups and downs, but nothing really should phase you. But you need to be connected, and you're completely right. You've got to look after your mind, you've got to look after your body, you've got to look after your soul, and then ultimately you've got to look after your finances and be in a strategy or strategies that are actually going to make people money. And I'm not saying having a job or a business is bad, but if you're just making other people rich, or you're just working in the business rather than on the business, and it's not serving you to the highest level, then you need to look outside of yourself and say, well, what else is there out there? Because there's some great things out there where you can be making some really, really, really good money. And with these strategies I've been mastering, and you're going to know these very soon, Hannah, you've got growth strategies, where your pot will grow over many, many years. You've got income strategies, where you could literally be making monthly income without the headache of tenants.
Yeah.
You've also got legacy strategies, and you've also got leverage strategies. And everything that we do is we only look at asset-backed funds. That's all we do. We're not investing into individual companies, because what can happen to a company share price?
Just fall.
It can just plummet and go to zero. Look at what happened to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Look at what happened to Kodak.
Yeah.
And it's happened to hundreds of companies. So what we don't do is invest into individual companies. What we do is invest into asset-backed funds that have been tried and tested over many, many years, and then you will apply the right strategy for you.
Can you just explain what an asset-backed fund is, just briefly?
Yeah, so an
just for people that
asset-backed
don't know?
fund is a fund on the stock market
Yeah.
that is asset-backed. So, for example, it will own gold,
Yeah,
it will
okay.
own silver, or it will be an index where it's invested into the top 500 companies or the top 30 companies or the top 1,000 companies. So the chance of that ever going to zero, well, the whole world would need to explode for that to happen.
So
Yes,
if it doesn't,
exactly.
yeah, so it's very, very safe.
In my view, the strategies that we do, as long as you follow the process,
Yeah.
and you stick to the rules,
Don't go off piece.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and don't do any daft shits. As long as you stick to the rules, these strategies anyone can do. Like even my children are doing these strategies now. They don't quite understand it. I'm doing it with them, but my
Yeah.
4-year-old and 8-year-old, they have their own. They have an ISA, and in that ISA we invest into some of these strategies. So I think it's been absolutely remarkable. And the reason I started this journey, because I was in an element of pain. I lost a lot of money with some fund managers. My business was doing really well, and I wanted diversification. And people can start doing this literally just a few hours a week anywhere in the world to give you your time back.
Yeah, so this is brilliant. So, for my Lyme patient clients, this is why I want to help them find strategies if they don't have that much energy, or time, and they can't focus on something like property. Yeah, this would be a brilliant thing to look into. But for anyone as well, it'd be amazing.
I think for everyone, obviously, you're a big advocate for the Lyme community. And, anyone tuning into this, be it, younger, older, confidence, no confidence, life is great, or you're going through a struggle, or you're suffering with something like Lyme disease, then mastering stock market investing, I think, is a really smart thing to do. Number one, you can make a hell of a lot of money doing it. Number two, there's many different strategies that will suit people's personality styles. Number three, you can get started just a few hours a week. And then number four, you can pass this down to your children, your loved ones, and you can really be the difference. That's going to make the difference for many, many, many years to come.
Yeah.
Of course, I believe in a diverse portfolio, and that's why I love property as a great asset class. But I didn't know until a couple of years ago that you can go and invest into asset-backed funds in the US, for example, that own the asset. So you can invest into commercial real estate funds, you can invest into gold funds, you can invest into index funds. You're just owning assets in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
And that's what I really love about the strategies that we've been mastering over the last 2 years. So if you are somebody that really wants to create more wealth for you and your future, then why don't you look at becoming a professional property investor where you can take advantage of the UK's #1 asset class and make passive income and also capital appreciation. So I'd invite you now to click the link in the comments or the bio and go and access my latest book called Property Success. This is where I introduce you to the 7 step-by-step system known as the Property Freedom Formula that I have used personally to do over £31 million worth of property development. So go and do that right now. I really hope you enjoy this asset, and it could be the difference that makes the difference and gets you up and running in the next 90 days.